everybody, it's Christine, and today I've got another episode of Scrapbook Sketches 101. Today I'm going to be taking a sketch and I'm going to be doing it with one picture, and so here's a sneak peek for you. I'm also going to be doing a cool background technique with some Scrapbook Adhesives by 3L. So I'm using the Easy Runner with the squares in it, and so you can see it's got like these square shaped adhesive pieces, and I am just running it all up and down my background. Now, why in the world would you do this? Well, it's fun to just think of a challenge, like something different to do with the product that you have on hand, rather than always looking to patterned paper, rather than always looking to stickers and ephemera, but thinking outside of the box. And so one thing I know about these adhesives is oftentimes you can heat emboss them. So I laid this out to create a cool striped background, and I knew I wanted to include black. So I'm using some black embossing powder, and I am just spreading that all over the place. Now I am going to say embossing powder is like glitter, man. It goes everywhere. I still have it on my desk. And I'm pretty sure it'll never all be gone. That said, it was worth it because it made a really neat background. So this also could obviously work with glitter and wouldn't be as stuck on as this will be once I heat emboss it, but it is definitely another approach that you can take. Now, one thing that I did learn with this is if any of the square tabs were sticking up even a little, they were going to curl up once the heat got applied. So I had to make sure that things were stuck down really well. And then you can see I'm just going over it slowly, warming it up so that the embossing powder turns to a solid instead of a powder. And it is just a really fun, unique effect. Obviously, I'm never going to duplicate this paper, but also it was a good way to be able to make a background to match other patterned papers that I wanted to use. I was going for a boy-themed layout. I wanted colors that would work with the Bro & Co collection from Simple Stories, and so all that came together to be perfect without being a totally overwhelming background. The technique is still obviously there and shows, but it's not overwhelming. Now, if you wanted to make it a more simple one, you just saw I had one there that was white. That would make it less bold and more of a monochromatic background with some cool texture, and you're going to see that in an upcoming layout, but I wanted to give you a teaser. That one will be in a layout that's coming up on September 9th. So if you want to see how it looks less bold and more monochromatic and a softer touch, keep your eye out. Now, carrying on with the layout, I knew I only had one picture to use for this layout, which is tricky when the sketch calls for two. So what I decided to do is really shrink down the size of the sketch. So I'm going to keep the border. I'm going to have a nice solid yellow border on there from this patterned paper that you see right now, but I am going to shrink down the area of patterned paper and picture to make it smaller and have more white space on the layout. Now, what you're seeing me do right now is I am creating a frame for the layout that's going to lay on top of it. I did not want to cut down my base that I already made. I wanted this to go on top. So I'm just going to the 1 inch mark on my trimmer and carefully going down the sides, each side at 1 inch. And then you can see I just kind of trimmed up the corners as I needed to. Not the simplest process, but it generally works. So you watched what I did. I start in the middle there instead of starting all the way at the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and add that on with my Easy Runner Grand, nice and flat. And you can see that yellow will pop really nicely against the white and black that I've already got going on. And I could really go any direction with this, but you can definitely see it has a masculine feel. And so although I could add some pinks and purples and turn it into a more feminine layout, it definitely is gravitating towards that masculine feel. The picture I'm using today is a picture of my son on a college visit with another one of his friends who was visiting the same college. And so I'm going to put that right in the middle, and then I'm going to create those layers of patterned paper underneath, starting with a vertical one and then adding in a horizontal one, which you can see I'm actually adding 2 pieces in. And so I'm going to tuck those back behind it. And then I wanted to bring in a pop of yellow. Sketch doesn't call for it, but I wanted it. So I'm going to go ahead and add that in. You'll notice right now my photograph and patterned papers have a very vertical feel to them as a whole. And that is kind of running into a contrast that I don't like with my stripes being horizontal and going across the page. So I am actually going to flip the whole thing on its side and turn those stripes so that they are going vertical along with my picture. Otherwise, it's just too much. It's too crazy for the eye. I want those directions to be running the same way. I'm also trying to figure out where I'm going to put my title because I don't want that to get totally lost. So what I ended up doing is trimming my picture down even more so and scaling everything down more. Now, I also added in that darker red stripe that you can see, and that goes along with the sketch. There is a stripe that goes behind the picture. It's going the other direction in the sketch, but you get the drift. Making it work, again, as I've said all month long, you start with the sketch and then you roll with the design that is coming to you. And this is probably the furthest I got from the sketch. Like, it's the least clear that it came from the sketch for sure. So that said, you can still kind of pick out some of the sketch elements in there, I think, anyway. Yeah. So carrying on, you can see that I'm just playing with where to put the picture right now and then where to add my title. And I'm going to use the words, oh yeah, these are some puffy stickers from the Simple Stories Bro & Co. collection. And I liked the oh yeah because my son says that a lot, so I felt like it was a perfect fit. Then I'm going to also add in some stars that are puffy and use those to really frame the photograph before I add in my journaling and such. So where that Easy Runner Squares background is really the star of the show, that Bro & Co. collection also comes alongside it really nicely. And you can see all those fun puffy stickers that I've included. I'm also going to add in a little journaling tag and use that to add a little bit of journaling in there beside my picture. And that will be pretty much it. So stars, a cool background, Bro & Co. collection, all kinds of fun, using again that same sketch that I've been using all month long this August, and we are quickly coming to an end for August, so you will see my final videos coming up soon. But I want to thank you so much for being here today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you aren't already a subscriber here, and we will catch you again later this weekend.